Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We are in Valencia. It's the end of October, it's sunny, it's 72 degrees, and finally after a few weeks off, I'm back on the bike, gonna explore the whole beach promenade here from Patacona down to Malvarrosa. It's about a 4K ride, and then we're gonna turn off and go into the city through the Turia River Valley. It's an old river that was rerouted, and now it's a big park. And we'll see all of that, and we'll end up downtown in the center of Valencia. So join me for the ride. Alrighty, so Patacona Beach is actually in the town of Malvarrosa, which is the first town north of Valencia, and this promenade boardwalk extends all the way down until it crosses into what is then actually Valencia and Malvarrosa Beach. The water is actually still really warm here, 73 degrees ocean temperature, even now on the 27th of October. Was out swimming on Saturday, and I've got my shorty, neoprene shorty, for when it gets a little colder. Might actually start surfing. What we really like about Valencia is how active everybody is. It's a Monday morning, so not a lot of people out, but as the day goes on, the promenade starts to fill up. A lot of very nice condos along here. They call it the Primera Línea, the front line. We rented a place just a block back, a couple hundred yards north of where I am right now. Coming up ahead of us are the Patacona Beach restaurants. There are actually two really big paella restaurants where I started, and they're only open from like 1 to 5 every day. They only do paella for lunch here. You may have seen my paella cooking class video that we posted just the other day, but this area right here, this is where people come to sit. Starts to get a little touristy down here. But it's still just a fun place to sit and have a beer. And now we're going to cross over this little trail that connects the Patacona Beach here in Malvarrosa with Malvarrosa Beach. And now, crossing this bridge, we enter the actual city of Valencia. And this is now Malvarrosa Beach. You can see all the soccer and volleyball nets and goals. There is an actual bike path just to the right over here, but I figured one time I'd come down the promenade nice and slow. Tourist season is pretty much over. We still have some tourists, but it's really like middle of June to middle of September. It gets crazy busy. So many more little restaurants down here, but this is where it gets really touristy. And the quality of the paella is just not the same. Ferradura restaurant, back where I started the ride, I'd say that's one of my favorite in all of Valencia. We just moved here, but we've spent the last 4 winters here, so we know the area really well. And with paella, you develop your favorites pretty quickly. Now you're starting to see all the cranes of the port of Valencia. And the big breakwater out to the left goes way out to the left. Looks like it goes out at least half a mile. It's a pretty impressive wall. Now we're going to zig and zag a little bit. More volleyball here. There was actually a travel group here for about a week. Seems like there are volleyball trips for people just to go and play beach volleyball. Thought that was pretty cool. You can see they're just a lot more crowded now, even for this time of year. People visiting Valencia come down to the beach for a swim or just to sit. It's just such gorgeous weather. The final stretch here down towards the port and the end of the promenade, and then we'll switch on to some other bike lanes. Valencia's got tremendously well built out bike trail network, and you'll see just how nice those trails are in just a couple of minutes. Like I said, I've never actually ridden here, but we've visited so much and we've walked so much. We know where things are. We've seen over the last 5, 6, 7 years during our visits how much effort's been made to build out the cycling network. And that's just the urban network. Then you have the Vías Verdes, and I've done a video on one of the ones in Madrid because we used to live in Madrid. But the Vías Verdes, it's the greenways. It's a network of 3,500 kilometers of old narrow gauge railway tracks that have been taken out and replaced with long distance bike and hiking paths. So really excited to be able to do that. Valencia is a place where you can probably ride 11 months of the year. They do have a 2 to 3 week rainy season, end of September to the middle of October, which we caught right when we arrived. Wasn't too bad this year. Last year they had some terrible flooding. There's the Valencian provincial flag and the Spanish flag up on the big flagpoles. And that shows us that we are at the end of this beach promenade. So we're just going to cross over. It connects pretty easily right to the next bike trail. Deke over here a little bit. There's a gigantic Virgin cruise ship right there. Holy smokes. That is one big boat. Look, I thought it was an apartment building. I've never taken a cruise. I'll admit to that. Geez, that's like 12 or 14 stories. Some old buildings here with probably the old port. I know this big hall, it's kind of open inside and very smooth, and on the weekends I've seen oftentimes that a lot of inline skating, roller skating going on in there. Yep, there we go. We got some people doing some inline skating. They got their little cones out. Great place for it. All right, I'm gonna just cross here. And then we're gonna dink a little to the left again. It's all good. Nice when you're not riding for time, just riding for fun. Go along 10, 12 miles an hour. And there we are. As the bike trail continues into the beginning of the Turia River Park. That's what you always hear, a lot of Dutch riders. Dutch love to go travel and then get on bikes and check everything out. I think it's awesome. All right, so this is the SeaWorld area coming up in front of us here. That's some kind of special exhibit now about humans. And I'm going to stop in a second. We'll talk a little bit about the whole museum. This is the sail bridge here. And now this is the actual Science and Technology Museum. Looks like a whale carcass. All right, hey everybody, and welcome to the Museum of Arts and Sciences. You can see it's quite an impressive collection of really modern buildings designed by the architect Calatrava. We've got the arts, science and technology right there behind you, the one that looks like the whale carcass. And then down below we've got the ones that look like, I think, a beluga whale or maybe a dolphin, and that's the planetarium and the opera house. Over here, up on the right, you've got the gardens. Very cool place. I'll swing around one more time, and it's all connected with these beautiful little ponds. Some of you may recognize the opera house. We'll go by it again in a minute. It's where they filmed a number of scenes in the series Andor, season 2. If you're a Star Wars nut like me, then you'll appreciate that. So we'll ride by there now and continue down through the Turia Park into the center of Valencia. And here we have the Hemisfèric with the planetarium inside, and you can see the Science and Technology Museum back there, the botanical gardens of sorts over there, and now we'll turn around and go straight on to the Opera House, Arts Center, where they did all that filming for the series Andor. There's just not a bad angle anywhere here. Everything is so beautiful. Such cool architecture. And the color of the water, all the mosaic work, just really fits with Valencia being a beach city. And that pretty much ends all of this modern museum section. So we're going to head out now through the remainder of the park. So there is a bike route on this side and across on the other side. The park is probably about 150 to 200 meters wide. And I'm actually on the bike trail again. Again, just a beautiful park. With the weather that they have here in Valencia, it's no wonder that people are out all the time, that they're so active and athletic. Mimosa trees, dabob trees, palm trees, all different manner of pine trees. Just a fun park to spend time in. There's some cafes and restaurants along the way. There's actually a metro station up ahead, so you can get here by metro depending on where you're coming from in the city. The walls on the sides of the river are also ancient. You can see that flooding has been an issue here for as long as people have lived here. And the walls are 20 to 30 feet high, and that didn't always save them from terrible floods. Of course, a lot of the walls have now been rebuilt and even extended. And I think it was 1972 that the river was finally redirected south of the city proper, and that this became the park that it is now. Now you get to see one of the 2 or 3 really old bridges. It just always fascinates me that people could build things so strong, so perfectly square and plumb, without power tools. Just incredible, look at that. Here's another one of those ancient bridges, just amazing. Again, very cool walls here. And then so like November to February, it's full on orange harvesting time. And then starting in March, they blossom all over again. And the smell is just amazing. So one of our first trips to Spain was in March of 2017. And when we left Madrid, went down to Cordoba. Madrid was quite cold because it's at elevation, and we went to Cordoba and we got off the train and started to walk into the old town to where our hotel was. And the smell of the orange blossoms was so powerful. It made us fall in love with Spain. Another old bridge here. And at some point now, I am going to cross over. Yeah, because I can see the big gate, one of the ancient gates of the walled city of Valencia. So I'm just going to do the little return here, and I'm going to head along. There it is, next to the bridge. And now you'll see the big fortress tower and gate goes into Valencia. And I see a ramp that'll take me up out of the riverbed onto the streets again. And I'm going to try to do my best to avoid going through the old center. In the old city now, just walking. Got the cathedral right here in front of us. Some beautiful old churches. And the main tower of the cathedral. All right. Back out the other side of the center, back on the road. Heading towards the Plaza del Ayuntamiento, City Hall Square. Got some great Art Deco architecture. Also has a shop that I really love to go to that has excellent jamón ibérico sandwiches, known here as bocadillos, and I will get one of those in just a couple minutes here, but let's go through the square first. You'll see some of these beautiful buildings just up on the left. 5-6 years ago, this was still open to traffic in all directions. Now it's very limited. Mostly pedestrianized. And over here on the right we have City Hall. Ayuntamiento in Valenciano, Ayuntamiento in Castellano. And then in the far distance you have the old North train station, still used for a lot of commuter trains. Middle distance, all the high-speed rail goes out of the Joaquin Sorolla station. Okay, welcome to downtown Valencia, the Plaza del Ayuntamiento. So, City Hall Square, some great architecture as you can see all around in the background here. Lots of Art Deco buildings and the old post office building. City Hall over here, right behind us. And I'm doing what you just have to do. You have to get a bocadillo. You have to get one of the ham sandwiches on this baguette style bread with the serrano ham or the cebo or the bellota ham. They vary in price, anywhere from like $5 or $6 to about 13 or 14 bucks. So nice ride today. Hope you enjoyed it. Gonna have some lunch now and we'll see you next time. Bye.